Quick disclaimer, we are not investigative journalists. We simply read, watch, and listen to whatever we can to satisfy our curiosity while use this information to form our own personal opinions. Do not take this as investigative journalism. This is simply our own rabbit holes.
Hello, friends, and get ready. We're going to talk about the docs, the crimes, and all the people involved. This is Crime and Chill.
Hey guys, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Victoria.
Hi Victoria, how are you?
I'm great.
You are?
Are you great?
I mean, we're down to the halfway mark for Halloween. Yeah, I'm wonderful.
I love that. I love that you're so excited about Halloween.
Yeah. I'm not excited what comes after right after Halloween, but I'm excited for Halloween.
For Christmas, I want to look at my Christmas tree and eat Thanksgiving food. That's what I'm going to do.
I'm having friends Thanksgiving.
We've been saying we were going to do that for years and still have not done it.
I'm doing it this year. I have more days now in life.
Okay. So we'll pin that and I'll actually come this time. Every time we try, it doesn't work.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Crime news. We have 3 things to talk about in crime news this week.
That's a busy week in crime.
Yeah, so we might have an ID on the Zodiac killer. I don't personally believe it yet. The FBI and the police have not said anything. The FBI said it's not commenting because it's an open case. But a group called the Codebreakers say they ID'd the infamous serial killer.
Well, if they have ID'd him, the FBI would have already put charges. I really think by now, I'm sure they have plenty of evidence if all they knew is the person who did it.
Well, he's dead now, so.
Okay, yeah, I don't believe it.
The guy is dead, and they're comparing sketches and stuff, and supposedly some DNA. I don't know. It's weird, but we'll see.
If Snopes talks about it, I don't believe it.
Same. So Gabby Petito's cause of death has been released. They have said that it is strangulation was her cause of death. Brian is still on the run, and as they should be, they really aren't telling a whole lot of information right now. They're telling a little too much for me, but...
All right, my problem... Why did they have a press conference? You, in this state, they were not allowed to say anything other than cause and manner.
Mm-hmm.
Why did we have a whole press conference? And why did these people keep asking these questions that they knew they couldn't get answers to?
Because you gotta at least try.
No, you don't. It's against the law.
I mean, they gotta try, see if maybe they could, get a facial expression to see, we get the body language analysis out here.
No, that's why I don't think they should have had it.
Same, but I get, I half get it because this is a very national, worldwide case. Everybody's talking about it.
Refer to the FBI or police department. That's all you have to say. Refer to the FBI or the police department. Mm-hmm. And then John Walsh, he knows damn well, he could not answer the questions that man was asking.
I fucking love John Walsh.
So do I. But.
So that is what's going on in that case. Nobody knows where Brian is, supposedly still. I don't believe that people don't know where he's at. I think there's some people that do.
I love the theory that he's living in a bunker underground. They do realize these people live in Florida, right? And there could not be a bunker in Florida. It would flood.
Yeah. Also, let's talk about all the creatures they have in Florida.
Yeah,
Florida is America's Australia.
He is not living in a bunker under the house. I don't believe that. But... and then feeding him through the garden.
Yeah, I love the garden theory. He's underneath the garden. He was hiding in that bed.
That's a bunker underneath the garden. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
Insane. Because it does, I've seen the video. It does kind of look like she's handing somebody something, but I think she was just putting something in the ground.
It looked like she was pulling weeds.
So.
I don't like them, but coming up with the stupidest things.
So, in some crime news that does have a happy ending, 3-year-old Christopher Ramirez went missing for 4 days in Texas. The boy was last seen playing with a neighbor's dog and following it into the woods while his mom was unloading and carrying groceries into the house. And it sounds like she turned her back for 2 seconds, and as toddlers do, he took off.
And they're fast.
Fast as hell, shit. So 4 days later, a man named Tim Halfin had heard about Christopher's case and him being missing in his Bible study group, and he said he felt called to go search for him. So 4 days, after 4 days that this kid's missing, this guy goes out there. Mind you, the police had canines out, they've had drones out, they were looking for this child. Tim walks into the woods. I think it sounds like he was not in there that long. And he said he heard a child whimpering, and he called out and said, "Christopher, is that you?" And then he heard the noise again, and lo and behold, it was 3-year-old Christopher Ramirez.
Miracle child. Too bad he's too little.
So the 3-year-old
go
survived
ahead.
4 days in the woods by himself.
Yo, I know some grown-ass men that couldn't survive 2 days in the woods by themselves.
So Christopher was taken to a local hospital and treated for dehydration and some minor scratches, and then he was released from the hospital about 2 days later. Somehow, this 3-year-old spent 4 days in the woods, so pretty much just getting dehydrated. That's it. And I'm like, how the fuck?
I mean, magic, miracles. I don't know. That's amazing. There was a case like that here, though. Wasn't there up in Harris Mountain where a little boy survived in the woods for...
Yeah, I don't remember all the details on that one, but there was one in Paris Mountain. Where
It was either last year or the year before, but I remember thinking, oh my God, like, I take my kids hiking there. What if they ran away?
Yeah. It's
Not
insane.
run away like they're running away, but like to just run off.
Because again, toddlers will
Run.
take the fuck off. They have no concept of safety.
Well, their brains aren't built like that. There's nothing to be fearful of
Yeah.
in the woods until there is.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he made it out, though. That's a miracle. I wish he was able to tell us how he did it.
Yeah. Me too. Like, I wish that kid was a little bit older just so we could talk. He could talk and tell us. I mean, I don't know if he can talk, but
I mean, I'm sure he could say some
things.
Yeah.
But I'd like to know.
I'm sure he's traumatized right now, though, and probably shouldn't ask him any questions.
Yeah. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I am going to be telling Rachel about a case, and she's going to be reacting to it as I tell her about it, because I fell down a rabbit hole.
And I'm going to listen to it.
Because sometimes this is just how our friendship works anyway, is one of us telling the other about
some bullshit crazy thing we've heard.
Yeah. So, you ready?
I am ready, Eddie.
All right. So this case is about Sarah Sands, and this is out of the UK. Sarah murdered her 77-year-old neighbor, Michael Pleasted, in November of 2014. And this case made global news in 2014 and 2015, and it made global news again in June of 2021. But we'll get to that in a minute. Michael Pleasted was living in an apartment complex at the same apartment complex as Sarah, which they're called flats in the UK, which I don't really know why, but it sounds fancy AF to me. I don't know about you.
I mean, flats. I mean, a lot of colleges, don't they call their dorms?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm a shelter child. Anyway, so Sarah and Michael were pleasant with each other. They weren't like besties, but they were neighbors, and at one time people described them as quite close. So Michael was close with children in the area. He worked at a local community center, and Sarah felt bad for him because this closeness with children resulted in a lot of people talking and the rumor mill starting about, normal shit you would hear if like an older 70-something-year-old man is hanging out with younger kids. It's kind of a little weird, and I feel like anybody would question that. Sarah felt bad and was like, she would make him like the tea and meals and stuff like that.
See, it would depend if I felt it was weird. Like, what else did he do with his life? Did he have his own children? Like, there would be more of a background. I would have to know more about the man before I'd be like, you're a fucking predator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, think about Joe and...
Yeah.
Yeah, so my brothers had long relationships.
I think it all depends.
Yeah, I think it depends.
But, rumor mills get started, and that's just how it goes sometimes. Michael offered Sarah's son Bradley a job at the community center where Michael worked. And, of course, she thought it was a good idea and thought Bradley would be safe because Michael was a well-known role model in the area because of him being around these kids and everything. Prior to the murder, Michael was arrested and charged for sexual assault of 2 boys under the age of 13 and was being investigated for a third. And he was released on bail and returned to his apartment, which overlooked a school and a playground. I feel like that was just a bad thing to do. Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
No.
So we'll get into why in a minute, but Sarah and her 5 children had moved into her mother's home out of the apartment complex. And Sarah, after having 2 bottles of wine, returned to the apartment with the intentions of confronting Michael and wanted him to confess and save children from the trauma of going to court, which can be traumatic. And according to Sarah, Michael smirked at her and said the boys were liars who were trying to ruin his life, and then he lunged at her. And she said that's not how things were supposed to go. He was supposed to listen to her. You know, they had this back and forth friendship. But she said this man was no longer the friendly neighbor she once knew, and he was just like a cold and totally different person. Which, yeah.
I mean, yeah, he was nice because he thought he was hiding under the radar with you, and then you know now, so there's no point of putting on his shield. You already know.
Yeah. So Sarah lost her cool, and she ended up stabbing him 5 times with a 30-centimeter kitchen knife. I'm not sure, it has not been said that I can find, if she brought the knife with her or if it was one of Michael's knives. I don't know. But the attack was described as frenzied, and the initial attack did not kill him, and he crawled into the hallway of his apartment and died in a pool of his own blood.
Gross.
Yeah. So Sarah immediately turned herself into police. Immediately. And during questioning, she stated, quote, she took care of him. I stabbed him. She also asked
She took care of it.
She took care of it. She also asked if he was dead, and when the police told her he was, she said, quote, he can't hurt kids now. So, during the trial, so when the trial began, there was a twist of information that came out. Michael's history came out. Michael Pleasted was not his original name. His name was Robin Molt, and he had been living in this apartment for 16 years before his past caught up to him.
Damn.
So,
why do you have a different name?
Ready?
I'm ready.
In the 16 years he lived in that apartment, no one knew that over the span of 30 years, he was convicted of 24 times of various child sex offenses.
Damn.
And
I was going to say, like, do we know for sure this man was actually sexually assaulting these boys? But now we do.
Yeah. And he had no obligation to disclose this to anyone because of a loophole in the law. And so the name was changed and he started over in a new city. And I'm assuming the loophole it was a different name. But I'm not sure. I do not know UK laws.
No, me neither. That's insane.
Yeah. And when the allegations first came up of these other boys, the police didn't check their database that would have shown very quickly who he was in his prior crimes, because even if a name changes, it's still on your record. And before the 2014 arrest of the one I mentioned prior, of the sexual assault of 2 boys being investigated for a third, someone did report in 2012 his close relationship with a young boy, and a social worker did go out and investigate that claim and interview the child and his family, but no complaint was made.
Why was no complaint made?
Either the child had either nothing at all was going on, or the child and the family just didn't say. Who knows?
Well, damn.
But the judge in this case called this unique because she immediately turned herself into police, never denied her responsibility. She didn't get rid of evidence, and they said she kind of showed remorse.
How much remorse can you show for a sexual offense to children?
Yeah. The judge did not think she went there with the intention of killing Michael or taking the laws into her own hands, but lost control because of her emotions. Again, she had drank 2 bottles of wine. So initially, Sarah was sentenced to 3.5 years for manslaughter, but that case was appealed and it was found to be unduly lenient, and the sentence was extended 7.5 years. And Sarah only served 4 of those years before receiving parole in August of 2018. Now, like I said, this case has once again made national headlines in June of 2021.
National or country? I mean, you've heard it. It was around the world.
Global. My bad. So it made global headlines again. Like I said, Sarah's son Bradley had a job at the community center with Michael. Unknown to Sarah, Michael was grooming her son before he assaulted him in the community center shop and Michael's apartment. Bradley suddenly quit his job and became moody before telling his mom what had happened. So Sarah said about this time, she said, quote, I found him pulling out his hair, rocking, shaking, and crying. I felt sick and heartbroken. like a responsible parent, Sarah called the police because that's what you do. And the police just suggested she move.
Yeah, I would have killed him with intention if they told me that I should move instead of investigating.
So here's what I'm worried. This is what my thoughts were on this. Was it possible that, okay, remove yourself from the situation and protect your child from this situation while we investigate? Because they were already investigating him. I'm wondering if that was it. And
I mean, if they were going to pay for the move, if they were going to help her, then yes, I would agree with that. But I doubt that they were going to be offering to help. They weren't giving her services saying, hey, we understand what's going on. We're in investigation. You know, it was just move.
So Bradley was pulled in to be questioned by the police after the initial arrest of Michael. And then he did disclose to the police then what had happened.
So he told the cops.
He did tell the cops. It was after that that Bradley told Sarah. And oh my God, this breaks my heart. Bradley felt guilty because of the other boys being assaulted. And he said that he should have told her sooner and he could have stopped Michael from getting to the younger kids.
Oh,
That hurts my heart.
that is really sad.
But during her trial, because like I said, this, and then she moves, and then this is when everything went down. The information about Bradley was not used in the trial. Sarah did not want it used. She did not want to put her son on blast like that. She did not want to put her son through the trauma of testifying in court and having to relive all that.
If he was going to be reliving it anyways, I think I would allow if he wanted to.
Yeah. Sarah and Bradley both came out together with news articles talking about what actually happened, because they felt like it needed to be known that this wasn't just a random vigilante killing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But she is currently writing a book about all of this, and when that book comes out, I'm going to read it.
I want to read it.
I want to hear
so
all
how
of it.
long did she end up actually spending in prison?
So she only served 4 years.
Worth every day of it.
So the original sentence was 3.5 for manslaughter, and then it was extended to 7.5. But she only served 4 and received parole in August of 2018. And Bradley is now 19-20. So he did, and like I said, he came forward with and opened up about all the information about what happened, because, you know, there's a lot of stuff. So that's the case. That's a lot. But I have some questions for you, Rachel.
Okay.
So we can obviously agree that what happened to these kids is horribly tragic. It's awful. It should have never happened.
Mm-hmm.
If you were in Sarah's shoes, would you have done the same thing?
If it was heat of the moment, maybe. But honestly, I don't think I would have went over there, just because I would feel like my child needed me at home.
Yeah.
I feel like, yes, going over there to have that conversation, it's not going to lead anywhere. Unfortunately, I think the worst in all people, so I would automatically think that it's not going to help anything.
Mm-hmm.
But if the opportunity arose where I was, within access to this person, then yeah. Yep, I probably would too.
You would have at least confronted him. But again, she didn't plan to murder him. She said she did not have that intention.
I would not have gone out of my way to confront him. Just me. Just because I know my own self, and I would know that my kid needed me here.
Yeah.
Just me.
So
I don't condemn her for what she did, though.
No.
You girl.
So we kind of touched on this a little bit, but do you think the police telling her to move was insensitive, or were they trying to buy time to build a case?
If they said it like how you presented it, we'll move, yes. Yeah, like I said, if they had gone with, we understand what is going on, we're doing an investigation, let's get him help in the meantime while we're doing this, let's get you guys away from the situation, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But all we know is she was told to move.
Yeah.
So.
She doesn't really give context of if it was put, the way that you're explaining, or if it's the way that it's kind of just based on I've read. So, like I said, this case made global headlines, and it sparked huge debates. Both times it's been sparked, it's brought up huge debates. So, there is 3 schools of thought on this. 1 is she shouldn't have been charged at all. 2, the original manslaughter conviction was correct and the original sentence was enough, and they should have left it at the 3.5. Or the 3rd school of thought is she should have been convicted of murder and given way more than 7.5 years.
Okay. As a mom, no, I do not think she should be convicted of murder. I do not think she should not have been convicted of all either, though, because that is setting a precedent. And what if the next parent kills somebody who didn't actually do anything?
Mm-hmm.
And they use, well, oh, it was okay for this case, but it's not okay for that case. So that, no, I think she should have, I think the time she got was fair.
Mm-hmm.
I think she would have done her son more justice being available to him as a mother during that hard time.
Yeah.
But I think that what she got was fine.
Yeah. So would you have stuck with the original 3.5 years or the 7.5? Like if
Either
you were in the
way.
position, like what do you personally think?
She
For
didn't-
manslaughter.
She didn't even stay the whole 7.5. So
No.
either way, it really doesn't mean
Yeah.
what's 900 more days. Either
Yeah.
way. I don't really care. It wouldn't really matter to me either way. I do think she should have been charged with manslaughter. I do think she should have had some type of time. But do I think she should have been charged with murder with 25 years to life? Absolutely not.
No. So I have seen this question a lot when I was reading about this case of what is the difference between manslaughter and murder. So manslaughter is unintentional. Your actions that happened or whatever happened that evening, you did not plan to kill somebody. That was not your intention. It could have been accident. You have vehicular manslaughter. You have all these different definitions in manslaughter. But manslaughter is normally used in a case where it was not the intention for the person to die. Murder is
Regardless of if you planned it before going or did it in the heat of the moment. You knew.
Yeah. You planned. So you have first, second, and third degree murder. First degree means you planned the shit meticulously. Second degree is more of
Heat of the moment.
Yeah, more of heat of the
Passion.
moment. Yeah. But that is the difference for anybody that was wondering. Manslaughter is usually not planned, could have been accidental, things like that. Murder, planned, or you acted in the heat of the moment with the intention of killing somebody.
Third degree murders are manslaughter.
Okay, so yeah, manslaughter, third degree murder, same thing. So there's that. And
I want to make a correction. I don't remember what year I said, but one of our episodes we talked about 911, and I don't remember if it was the case it was legit, but 911 was not started until 1968.
oh,
So I don't remember if it was prior to that date or after that I thought 911 should have been there. It's a correction. 911 started in 1968.
that was probably in our
Thank
kitty
you, critics.
episode.
Which again means 911 was there when she was killed.
Yeah.
But anyways, 1968, 911 was started in Alabama. Thank you. Have a great day. That is I'm apologizing to the world of internet.
Yeah, so that is our episode this week, and we hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, it's a little different, so it's okay.
I kind of like having a story told to me instead of us just going back and forth with it.
I mean, both is fun.
Yeah.
So you never know. Maybe we'll make this like once a month thing of taking turns telling each other crime stories. That could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a interesting reaction, at least, to see the crazy fucking crimes that I look at. You're gonna be like, wow, this girl is crazy.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's all right. So thanks for joining us this week. Be sure to join our Facebook group, Crime and Chill Fam, to come talk crime with us and tell us your thoughts on this case. And follow us on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram, Crime and Chill Podcast. And we have a YouTube channel, Crime and Chill, where we upload the podcast episodes if you don't like listening to Spotify, because some people don't, and I don't know why, but that's okay. That's your business. And maybe we'll do actual videos at some point. Maybe you'll get a get to know us or something. Who knows?
Get to know me.
We'll see. But thanks for joining us this week, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.